What up, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to another episode of There Is Only Warhammer. And I thought it'd be fun to look at the 3Ds of the Primaris Aggressors, because it's been a while since I've done one of these, relatively speaking, of course. But yeah, the 3Ds of the Primaris Aggressors, because now, I mean, you got the Codex is out now, and people are trying different things and looking at different stuff. So you know the score of these. I read through the update. If I need to comment on anything, I will do so at my discretion. So let's go. Okay, it says, on the surface, aggressors seem like a fairly simple unit. Shoot a lot of infantry, make them die, repeat. You'll certainly get a lot of mileage out of them that way. But like all Space Marine units, they're surprisingly versatile. When playing with aggressors, you'll want to remember the 3Ds: distraction, defense, and destruction. Firstly, it's worth running down the key features of the aggressors. They're durable, 2 wounds apiece at toughness 5 with a 3+ save. Now that's pretty good. That is pretty good, actually. Okay. They're quicker than you'd think. Aggressors can advance and fire without penalties to hit. Also good. Okay. They're shooty. You can fire their weapons twice if they remain still. Now that's pretty awesome. They pack a nasty punch in close combat. Each has a couple of power fist attacks. Now that's good. Okay. So already they're looking good to me. 1. Distraction. Aggressors are a valuable distraction unit in any Space Marines army. A popular tactical concept in Warhammer 40,000 circles is the distraction Carnifex, named for the iconic Tyrannid unit. A distraction Carnifex is a unit that's durable and has the potential to cause a lot of damage if it's ignored. Aggressors are great for this role. For about 120 points, you're getting 3 toughness 5 Space Marines with 2 wounds each and a 3+ save with a pile of power fist attacks and respectable shooting. While they might be a little slow, your opponent will be forced to dedicate a considerable amount of fire to getting rid of the aggressors before they get into combat range. A squad equipped like this will need on average 60 bolter shots to shift. Well, that's pretty respectable, assuming of course that has been playtested in that fashion. Excuse me. And that's very respectable. That's very awesome. Right, okay. As the unit is made up of 3 models, you'll get a little insurance against las cannons and other high damage weapons that larger units like dreadnoughts and carnifexes lack, because excess wounds are not carried over to the rest of the unit force once a model is slain. This is further improved by an accompanying Primaris Apothecary. Throw in some durability boosting chapter tactics like Shadow Masters or the flesh is weak, and your opponent is going to have to work very hard to take these guys off the board. While your more fragile offensive units like Hell Blasters are free to wreak merry havoc. So excess wounds not carried over to the rest of the unit. Wow. Pretty sweet. Defense. This is the second D. Aggressors are perhaps the best defensive unit in the Space Marines Codex and are perfectly suited to shielding your other more vulnerable units. Again, they're very effective for their points cost, meaning a unit or 2 isn't a significant investment, and you'll only need a few to fill this role. Positioning is one of the most important new mechanics in Warhammer 40,000. Remember that you can't move your units within 1 inch of any enemy units. In practical terms, you can use this to your advantage by placing your aggressors so that your enemy units cannot either approach you or are forced to charge your aggressors if they want to get into combat with a more vulnerable unit, and thus will have to eat a double overwatch attacks from them in the process. 2 units of 3 aggressors can deny an enormous amount of ground. The best aggressors in this way is at the front of an Ultramarines gun line. This force enemy assault units to charge the. I think it means this forces enemy assault units to charge the aggressors first, allowing you to double tap them with flamers on Overwatch. Then after they fall back, you can hit them again with flamers thanks to Codex Discipline, and then finish the job with a couple of Devastator squads. 3. Destruction. Aggressors add considerable anti-infantry firepower to a Space Marines army, and you'll get a lot of mileage out of using them just for offense. Once the aggressors are in range, they put out a dizzying amount of firepower. The average casualty counts for an optimal shooting attack says it all. 3 aggressors with Flamestorm gauntlets firing after remaining stationary against Space Marines, 7 wounds. Imperial Guardsmen, 19 wounds. Orc Boys, 17 wounds. All numbers are after saves. Imperial Guardsmen and Orc Boys turned out to be some of the surprise stars of the new edition, and thanks to the sheer volume of attacks and useful morale manipulating mechanics, are deadly on the tabletop. If you're building a tournament army, you'll need something to deal with these units, and as you can see, the aggressors are an excellent choice. That's pretty awesome. I mean, that's more like it. That looks good. I prefer that to carrying the flamers. It just looks cool. While it's not their primary role, high volumes of flame weapons can be surprisingly effective against light vehicles and monsters. One popular skimmer is the Void Weaver, and a unit of aggressors equipped as above can handily destroy one in a round of shooting, while combining the aggressors with the Salamander's stratagem Flamecraft, which is +1 to flame units, and Vulcan Histan reroll wounds with flame weapons and melter weapons. Allows them to destroy even larger targets such as Carnifexes with ease thanks to sheer volume of fire. Combining the 3D's. Well, aggressors are ultimately the best used as a combination unit. Place 2 units of 3 to 6 aggressors at the front line of your forces and keep them ahead by advancing every turn and firing. This is your defense. As you advance up the board, your opponent will be forced to deal with the aggressors first, shielding your other units. This is the distraction. Finally, once you're in range, either charge into the brutal melee or unleash hell with your weapons. This is the destruction. It kind of makes sense. You'll want to support this battle line with some characters. Many Space Marine armies will include a captain, a lieutenant or 2, and a Primaris Apothecary, which serve this role quite well. Combined, this makes for a 600-point anvil, which a variety of armies can be built around, with plenty of space for experimentation in a 2,000-point list. Add the aggressors to your force today. They certainly sound the part, don't they? And with a bit of luck, they've been play tested quite well. I think it's all sounding solid tactic-wise. Will I get some? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I've got so many ordinary Space Marines personally and Terminators, but I may do. I just may do. It's tempting, isn't it? Anyway, there you go. That's the 3Ds of the Primaris Aggressors. Now, thank you very much for watching this video. Remember, all brushes lead to war, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now, folks. Bye bye.